Mark?
You with us, Mark? Maybe not.
Welcome, Beverly High School football fans, to Herd Stadium on what's been a very blustery, cold, raining morning after raining all night. The sun's actually come out, but it's still kind of a cold day for the game here between the hometown Beverly Panthers and the visiting Lynn English Bulldogs. And it looks like Beverly...
This would be Classical.
Sorry?
This would be Lynn Classical.
I'm sorry, Lynn
Rams.
Classical. Is it the Rams?
Rams.
Oh, I excuse me about that. My cohort here, my color man,
Joey's ready to kick off for Beverly.
Bob Hobbs corrected me. So this is the Lynn Classical Rams. Okay. And so Beverly's getting set to kick off, which would normally be Joey Loretti, and he gets ready. And there's the kick, and it's kind of short. It's taken on about the 15-yard line. And he bursts through, and there he all the way up to the 40-yard line. He burst through the first line of defenders that Beverly had out there and looked like he could have broke that.
He could have, and that is exactly the way to run back kickoffs and punts. Just run it straight up the gut and just keep your legs churning. Good things will happen more often than not.
So the Lynn Classical Rams take over 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. And we'll give you some of the names of the players here as soon as we can spot them. The quarterback is in the shotgun position. And it looks like it's a pass to open the game. It's a long pass. He's open. He's open. When he falls down. Boy, Beverly just, he outran the defender, and that was a long 10, 20, about almost a 40-yard gain there. Yeah. 10, 20, no, I'm sorry, about a 30-yard gain.
He was wide open, and the pass was on the money.
For Lynn Classical on the first play from scrimmage. They all the way down to the 31-yard line of Beverly. They come out firing.
And they could make hay playing teams that just lost in the playoffs because they crushed Marblehead last week.
So it's Keith Ridley is the quarterback, number 11, and he's throwing again, and it looks like it's...
Yes, that's a touchdown.
That's a catch and a touchdown. Wow. Oh. 2 plays, and the Lynn Classical Rams go 60 yards in 2 plays. They come out firing on all cylinders, and with less than a minute, that's only 40 seconds in the game, and they are already up 6-0. So Lynn Classical comes out firing.
No, they had some things to prove. They did not get into the playoffs, despite I believe they had a 3-4 record at the time. And teams, obviously worse records, did. And
they are going for 2, and they're going to get it. So
2-point conversion is good.
Just like that.
That was 8 points, and it was done very quickly and rather easily.
They just outraced, and that was a fantastic catch in the end zone. He was a diving catch. I thought when I first saw the ball up, I was going to say the ball's overthrown. But he leaped and he stretched out and caught that ball. So just like that, Lynn Classical is up 7-0 with only 40 seconds gone in the first quarter. So Beverly will receive the kickoff now for the first offensive series of the game.
Well, last week, Classical put a real beatdown on Marblehead. Marblehead was in the game for the first half, and in the second half, Classical just ran away from them. And I think they caught a dispirited Marblehead team, Marblehead having been eliminated from the playoffs on the first round of the playoffs. And I hope that the same thing is not going to happen to Beverly because on that first series of plays, as you said, there was only 2 plays for a touchdown, then an easy run in for a 2-point conversion. So Beverly is just going to have to suck it up here and not be
it's kind of a and here we go. They
not be too far down as a result of their loss last week to Tewksbury.
So the ball is teed up. It looks like it's teed up rather crookedly there. It doesn't look like it's upright, and it's a very short, wobbly kick. Yeah. And whoa! Basically, and it's covered there by Pat Parsons. The wind just held the ball up. It looked like a knuckleball. And Parsons was set to grab the ball, and the wind just blew it away from him, and he had to run backwards to jump on the ball.
And it looked like the ball was just laying flat on the ground.
It was, and
And I think that was an intentional script kick or onside kick, if you will.
So Beverly takes over 1st and 10 from their own, looks like about the 32-yard line. And Ryan Barrow is the quarterback under center. This is for Beverly's first snap of the game. And it gives to the third man through.
Ooh.
And it's a big gain up across the 40 to the 43. That was Marge Malumba, who had a giant game. He had just a career night a couple games ago with over 300 yards rushing.
Yeah, he had an entire backfield's worth of production in that one game.
So Beverly has a 12-yard gain on the first, and they've got an I formation there with Marge Malumba at the top of the I. And Ryan Barrow over center, calling signals. And again, it's to Marge Malumba, and Malumba gets to the outside, and he's dropped after about a 5-yard gain.
Yep. He was the third back through.
Yep.
And the hole, by the time he got to the line, the hole had pretty much been blocked up, and he tried to get to the outside. Just by that point in time, the defense was able to just get over there as quickly as he did.
So it's a 2nd and 5 for Beverly. I don't know if Clayton McAlpine is still out. He was out 2 games due to mononucleosis, is my understanding.
I had that myself some years ago. I can tell you don't recover in 2 weeks. You're pretty beat up.
Well, don't know who jumped first there. The referees will figure it out for us.
I think this has to go against Beverly.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for Beverly.
The classical lineman jumped, but he was in the neutral zone. But Beverly's offensive lineman just flared out and nailed him.
So Beverly's going with Marge Malumba in the backfield. They will also have Avila, Andrew Avila, number 20. They've also got Pat Parsons and Duncan Moreland, who can run as well. And he tries to get through, and that's Malumba, I believe. And I don't think he got anything on that one. Ball's right at maybe a yard.
Give him a yard, and a half.
So it's a 3rd and 9 from the 45-yard line of Beverly.
3rd and 9.
Well, I think we can take a look and see what Ryan Barrow's arm is. And I haven't seen Duncan Moreland. Has he been in?
I haven't seen him. He's on the sideline there, number 8. I think he's standing over there, but that's Clayton McAlpine that he's with. So Clayton McAlpine is in his civvies. And there it's a give to Marge Malumba, and no gain. He just gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. So that penalty hurt him there on that 5-yard penalty. They're going to have to they'll be forced to punt. So Beverly gets 1 first down, and then they are stymied. It's 4th down and 8.
Classical is quick to the ball, but I don't know exactly why Beverly didn't attempt a pass there, even if it was just a flare out to the sideline.
Yeah, they've been giving it to Marge Malumba, the 3rd man through. So the I see number 4, who is Nashwan Butler, deep, and looks like, is that number 2 or 12? 2 is Chase Buono. Deep there at about their own 20-yard line. And Beverly is and it's a high snap, but he gets it off, and it's
barely got it.
And it's taken on about the 18-yard line. He's going to his right, and he gets to the sideline, and he's pushed out. I believe that was Marge Malumba. Number 4. That was
Jake Buono on the return.
So that was Jake Buono on the Chaz. I have Chase Buono. Sorry.
The punt returner leaps high in the air right at the end of that play, and that could be hazardous to your health. Probably don't want to go vaulting on kick returns and kickoff returns.
So the Lynn Classical has only ran 2 plays, and on both of them, their wideouts have just beaten our defensive men, and they were beaten solidly. They were well.
The receivers were well behind them.
And number 11 is the quarterback, Keith Ridley, takes the snap. He gives it to the first man through there, and it's a
he was met smartly at
Yeah.
the line of scrimmage. And
Yeah, I think that was a loss of a yard or two,
Tucker
actually.
with the carry.
So that they gave him a loss of about a yard or two there. So it'll be
Yeah,
second down and about 11 or
Tackle by
12.
Caden Hale.
So Ridley is in the shotgun position. He has one back with him, and they've got three wideouts on the left and one wideout on the right. And he fumbles the ball a little bit, and he's stopped for maybe about a yard, 2 or 3 yards. He's up to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard over the original line of scrimmage.
Ridley with the
So it'll be
keeper.
about a 3rd and 9 for Lynn Classical.
something went wrong there. Either the
Tackle
running
by
back
Duncan Moreland
was
and
supposed to
Caden
get the
Hale.
ball and did not take it.
Well,
Because the quarterback looked like a little baffled there right at the end.
So Ridley's back in the shotgun. He takes the snap, and he's waiting back there, and he's tackled.
All right.
And that smartly done. That was about a 10-yard loss
Sacked
there
by
on that.
Bobby Adams.
So Bobby Adams, number 85. So they'll have a 4th and about 18.
Jonas Pavia in on the pressure as well.
The ball is on the 20, about the 27-yard line.
4th and 18.
So it's a 4th and 18. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Beverly will be getting the ball back. The punter is down on his own 15-yard line.
That was
And
defense stiff.
there's
right
the
there.
snap, and nobody's rushing. And that's a bad kick. It goes out of bounds. They netted out. They didn't even get to the first down marker, the original
They
first
didn't- They
down.
didn't get to midfield.
Yeah. Beverly will be taking over at about the 40. Where are they going to place it? The 40, 41-yard line of Lynn Classical. So Beverly will take over on their second offensive series. They're behind now 8-0 with 5 minutes and 14 seconds left here in the first quarter at Hurd Stadium. And the Beverly offensive unit comes up to the ball. And Ryan Brewer over center. They've got that eye going again. Barking signals, and again they give it to the third man through, Marge Malumba, and he gets to the outside, and he
Urge Malumba.
surges forward, across the 30-yard line for a first down.
Nice one.
Yeah, Malumba started on the inside. He's got the ability to get outside very, very quickly. He can change
Malumba
direction.
carry is good for a Beverly
So
first down.
it's a first down for Beverly at the 31-yard line of Lynn Classical.
So far, Merge Malumba has been getting a workout. In fact, he's been getting just the ball on just about every play.
Well, and we've got Duncan Moreland in the game. He's wide out to the left.
It'll be 1st and 10 on the 31.
Ryan Brewer under center. Barking signals, takes the snap, and it's a quick hitter to, and that ball was batted at just behind the line of scrimmage by one of the linebackers. Duncan Moreland was open, and he could have gotten probably 8 or 10 yards on that, but it was deflected by one of the defensive players for Lynn Classical. But just a quick slant there, Bob.
Yeah, and I like the call. It was just a quick pass, quick slant across the middle, coming from left to right. But the ball didn't have enough height on it and was easily deflected by a lineman.
So Ryan Brewer comes out again. It's a 2nd and 10 at the 31-yard line. And they give it to Malumba, and he's through. And he gets, he had a nice hole there that got closed up really quickly, but that was about a 7-yard gain. So maybe a 6-yard gain. So it'll be, the ball is at the 26-yard line. So they've got to get down to the 21. So it's about 5.
It's about a 5-yard gain.
5 yards. So it's 3rd and 5 for Beverly. This is a 4th. I've got two chances to get this first down for sure. And they come out. They've got Duncan Moreland wide to the right. Single so far. They've only thrown the one pass, and they haven't.
Motion.
Looks like it's a illegal motion against Beverly. Boy, those hurt. So instead of a 3rd and 5, it's a 3rd and 10.
Especially at third down, because now you've really made it tough.
Yeah.
You gotta get.
You only got one down. Well, this is fourth down territory.
You're exactly right.
It'll be 3rd and 12.
Boy, they moved the ball back quite a bit for a 5-yard penalty. Looks like they moved it back about 7 yards, but who am I? All right, so they've got Duncan Moreland wide out to the right, and Baror back to pass, and it's a long pass to Moreland, and it's overthrown. Moreland looked like he slowed down to get that ball.
Intended for Duncan Moreland.
He was running out of end zone
Bring up
there,
4th and 12.
and I think he was trying to time his leap because the ball was thrown high and it was off to the into the right corner of the end zone. He had to slow down because he was going to run out of the end zone. Pass was just a little too high for him, and for anybody really. He was just overthrown.
All right, so Beverly is faced with a 4th and 11 here at the 32-yard line of Lynn Classical. And again, they just have, oh, wow. They smelled that play out. Lynn Classical just all over Ryan Barrow. He's down at about the 44-yard line, so that's a loss of about 8 or...
Yeah, Ryan had no chance on that one.
Yeah, so...
Classical was in a rush all the way.
Yeah.
They had 3 guys in the backfield in no time.
Yeah. They were in the backfield before Ryan Barrow could even turn around.
Before he could get back into his position.
So far, it's 3 minutes and 9 seconds left in the first quarter. The Lynn Classical Rams scored just like lightning. 2 plays, barely with less than a minute in the game, and they scored. And so far, it's been a kind of a standoff. Beverly's moved the ball, but they've been stymied here. And it's a give to number 4, and he's tackled by Duncan Moreland, number 8. The first man was in 25, I think that, and he shed that tackle.
Tackled by Duncan Moreland and Andrew Avila.
Foster Smallman had him wrapped up, but he slid off of him. And
well, since those first 2 plays that when Classical went right down the field in 60 yards, Beverly's defense has been stiff.
Yeah. Looks like, what do we got here? Timeout on the field. 2 minutes and 52 seconds left here in the first quarter. Quarterback is Keith Ridley. He's in the shotgun position. He's got one back next to him back there. Ridley looks like a pretty big guy. There he goes. Oh, he slipped.
Oh, look at how wide open this is.
Yeah, the Beverly player, the Beverly defensive man, Jay-Sean Jones, slipped, and the Classical player was 5 yards ahead of him, but unfortunately the pass was overthrown. So it's a 3rd down and about 15 for Lynn Classical. Ball on their 38, 39-yard line. They got three wideouts on the left. They're flooding the left side. And he's back to pass, and it's an inside screen, and he breaks the first tackle, number 5. It's a foot race.
Classical is fast. And
he's down at about the 10-yard line. That was a very well-conceived play by Lynn Classical.
It really was.
They had an inside screen there. There was nobody. He had about 5 blockers around him. And before Beverly could recover, he just streamed down the field for a very nice gain there. That was a
great call, because Beverly on the previous play, the Classical receiver was so wide open that defensive backs were playing back to prevent that from happening again. So playing it right over the middle was a perfect call right there.
So Lynn Classical has a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, and it's a keep by number 11, and he faked it to his back and just kept the ball, and he was literally untouched until he got into the end zone. So just like that, Lynn Classical
9-yard touchdown carry for Keith Ridley
is up 14-0 over Beverly. We've still got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And they are going for 2 again.
Yeah, why not? They had so
And
much success.
there it is, and he's in. He's in untouched.
Untouched again.
Untouched again. There's Lynn Classical just blowing the Beverly defensive players away.
With the 2-point conversion.
So with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter, Lynn Classical is ahead of Beverly. The Beverly Panthers 16-0. I'd like to remind our viewers that you're watching the BevCam Sports Network. My name is Walt Kosmowski. I'm doing the play-by-play. And my cohort Bob Hobbs here will be doing the color.
Well, I think I was a little maybe wrong about that. Lynn Classical taking advantage of Marblehead being on a down because they look like a Super Bowl team. I think they were a little aggravated they did not get into the playoffs. They pounded Marblehead last week, and they're in the process of doing the same to Beverly right now. They're just looking like a real good team.
The kicker is number 4, Nashon Butler. And they do this kind of a funny thing. And again, the ball is laying on its side.
Yeah, no, this is
The Beverly D-backs are on the 25-yard line. So it's it's an onside kick. He kind of missed the ball.
Yeah.
And you know,
I don't think it went 10 yards in.
well, I think it's right at the 50. So
Recovered by Jay-Sean Jones.
remember, the receiving team can get the ball anywhere. They can jump on the ball anywhere.
If it goes 10 yards.
No, they can get the ball before. I'm talking about the kicking team can't get it until it goes 10
Oh,
yards.
yeah.
But the receiving team can jump on the ball anytime.
Right, you're right. I'm sorry.
So Beverly will take over for their third possession of the game. They have yet to score, and the ball is squarely on the 50-yard line. So, well, they've got 2. They've got Pat Parsons, number 5, out wide to the. Oh no! What? Not again.
Timeout.
Looks like I thought that was another motion. No, it looks like a timeout.
Yeah, I didn't see any motion.
Lynn Classical takes a timeout. It looked, Bob, like Beverly came out determined to run no matter what.
I thought Merge Malumba was going to get the call every single play.
Yeah, he carried the ball the first four carries, first 4 plays that Beverly ran. He carried the ball out of that eye, and that that does take a while to develop because he's got to let one back go through the hole, second back go through the hole, and then. By the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, that gives the defense.
The defense is also there. So
yeah. So Beverly starts this series on their own 50-yard line. The ball is squarely there on the 50. They've got Moreland and Pat Parsons out, and it's a screen pass to the. And that's a fumble, but Beverly recovers. Was that Avila? Who was that?
Ryan Barrett to Andrew Avila.
Andrew Avila carried the ball.
It was a fumble, but fortunately the Beverly's blockers were trailing the play. Were able to jump on the fumble.
So Moreland and Pat Parsons come out. Looks like the coach, Coach Andrew Morrissey, is juggling around his players. He's lined up here with Clayton McAlpine out.
I think he's trying to find a formula here that's going to work.
So it's a 2nd down and 3 for Beverly, and they're in that straight eye, and there's Merge Malumba, and he breaks through and he gets the first down over the 40-yard line, down to about the 38, 39-yard line. Uh-oh, somebody's down. I hope that's not Merge Malumba. He's slow getting up. Yeah, it looks like he's got some mud on his on his helmet, on his face mask. So Beverly picks up a first down, and it has a 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line of Lynn Classical. Minute and 28 seconds, and the clock running here in the first quarter.
Well, that was a strong run by Greg Malumba.
Well, I think
he's hard to bring down. He keeps churning his legs, and when that happens, you can get driven into the turf pretty hard, and I think that's what happened to him here.
and he's only a junior, and there he looks one way. Oh boy, that was close.
That was
Duncan Moreland had to fight number 17 off.
Pass intended for Duncan Moreland.
That was Cameron Green for Lynn Classical. And Moreland was lucky that Green didn't come away with that ball. That time Barrar looked to the left, and then he threw back.
Yeah, the ball was a little bit too much in front of the receiver, and the defensive player as it turned out, would have been the only person who could have caught it, because he was blocking Duncan Moreland from getting to the ball.
Yep. So it's a pitch back to. He should have kept. No, oh boy. Yeah, there's a case where he should have cut back in. He just kind of danced around a little bit too long, and all of the Lynn Classical players, defensive players, were able to surround. That was Merge Malumba. So that's no gain there. So it's a 3rd down and about 11 for Beverly. Beverly can't seem to be consistent here on offense. Just doesn't. There's just a spark missing here someplace. They've got Duncan Moreland wide to the left. They got Avila in motion, and he stops. And there was a counter play to Avila, but there's nowhere to go. The linebacker just kept his spot there and just wrapped Avila up as he tried to turn upfield. So it's a 4th down and 11 for Beverly at the 40-yard line of Lynn Classical.
But you're right, there is a spot missing, and I think it might be because they lost last week. They're out of the playoffs. It's got to be somewhat dispiriting. So far, they've got a 16-point deficit to overcome, and the offense just hasn't been able to generate much spark. Defense has, despite the score, has not looked that bad. On a couple of passes, they probably definitely would like to have another shot at, but.
So Ryan Barrar is having a long conversation with Coach Andrew Morency, and looks like they might be going for this 4th and 11 at the 40-yard line of Lynn Classical. So, well, we'll see what they come up with here. There's now if they now see they're okay. They've got Moreland out to the right, and they've got Pat Parsons and Andrew Avila. And there's a long pass to Duncan Moreland, and he catches the ball, and it's a touchdown. No!
Did he catch it?
I thought he caught it. The referee says it hit the ground.
I had a person standing right between me and the play, but it looked like it was going to be.
It looked like he caught it here, but the referee is a lot closer to the play. So Beverly gives up the ball on that 4th and 11. Oh, it looks like a penalty against the Beverly bench. Looks like a penalty there. The penalty flag was thrown. I think they're going to get 15 yards for unsportsmanlike.
I think they probably
too much arguing here.
Yeah, I think they probably pointed out to the referee the error of his ways, and the official took exception to that.
So let's see what happens. So now it's a 40. They got 20 yards out of that. How could 20-yard penalty? And that was the quarter is up. No, I guess not. 40.
Oh, that's a change of field.
Well, looked like there was definitely a flag thrown there, because the referee was was upset with something that was coming from the Beverly bench.
I think that was their warning, and the next time could definitely be a penalty.
I didn't know they did that in football. We'll give you a warning. It's either a penalty or it's not.
Basically, it's cut the below knee, or next time it's going to be 15 yards.
Oh, they got to change sides. Yeah, ref. Yeah.
No, it's a change in.
Yeah, they changed. Yeah, the players were lined up on the wrong side of the ball, and now it looks like, are they going to assess a penalty? No, it looks like.
I don't think so. I think that yardage change was due to the change in the period.
So Lynn Classical takes over 1st and 10 on their own 40, and it's a toss out to number 4, and he's fighting for yardage.
I don't think he made it, but it's close.
No, it's close. It'll be a 2nd and about 1 for Lynn Classical. So far, Lynn Classical looks a lot sharper than Beverly so far. Beverly just seems a little lethargic there. They just don't seem to have a spark on offense.
2nd down and 2.
So it's 2nd and 2 from the Lynn Classical 48-yard line. Keith Ridley at quarterback, and it's a long pass, and it's overthrown, intended for number 15.
If you're going to overthrow it, overthrow
Sorry?
it. If you're going to overthrow it, overthrow it. That was 15 yards overthrown. So I have a feeling that the receiver was supposed to be down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, maybe he ran a different pattern than the quarterback was thinking.
A little miscommunication there.
So it's a 3rd and 2 from the 48-yard line for Lynn Classical. Keith Ridley, the quarterback. Oh, it looks like there was motion on that. I definitely sensed some motion, but the referees are closer to. So Ridley keeps the ball, calls his own number, and it's a 1st and 10 in Beverly territory at the Beverly 47-yard line. And there Ridley throws it again there's that pass to number 4 that Beverly just can't seem to stop that. They've run that 4 or 5 times and completed that. That's good for 4 or 5 yards every time.
They're giving him too much room. And I understand that after getting burned in that initial series at the beginning of the game, they don't want to let him get by them. But on the other hand, you can't give him 5 yards like that either.
So what's the referees? Looks like there was some motion. Looks like the referees detected some motion in the interior line of Lynn Classical. So it'll be a 2nd down and about 12 now.
5-yard penalty.
That wasn't quite 5. It's about 3.5 yards.
Timeout, Classical.
Well, they got the 2nd and 10. The yardage they gained on the previous play was negated.
So 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Left in the first quarter here at Herd Stadium. This is the Beverly BevCam Football Network, BevCam Sports Network. Our producer and director, Robert Dokes, is in the control room back at the studio. And our fine cameraman, Mark Lehman, up on top of the press box, braving the gusty winds here at Herd Stadium. Well,
Mark will concur with my thinking that after the 1st of November, all Beverly's home games should be played in Fort Lauderdale.
So it's a 2nd down and about 11 for Lynn Classical. And Ridley back. He literally gets and he's got it. Look at that. And the Beverly player knocked it out of the, but the referee is saying he held it long enough. He was in possession of it as he crossed the goal line, even though it was batted out of his hands. The Beverly defensive backs are just getting beat.
Classical is much faster than
they're just getting beat.
I think they're going to have to
drop
a man deep and just leave him back there.
That and the fact that the quarterback seems to have all the time in the world to pass. They're just the defensive, offensive line of, and again they're going for 2 points.
Well, they've been so successful. Why not?
And it looks like and he's wide open. He was there and the ball was there, but he just slid. But the Beverly
point conversion is no good.
But he was wide open again. So Beverly is finding themselves in a 22-point hole here with 9.5 minutes left in the half. And the offense has got to show some spark right now.
Yeah, they've got to put some points on the board here before the half is up, or they're going to be in a real deep hole, as you say, Bob. And so far, the 3 touchdowns that touchdown there again with a long pass play, and the Beverly defensive backs are just getting beat.
They're getting outraced.
They're being outrun.
And the pass has been right on the money too, and that's a tough combination. When you get a quarterback that can put it on the money from 30 or 40 yards away.
So here comes Lynn Classical again. They tee the ball up kind of like sideways. Yeah. And number 4, Nashawn Butler, is the kicker. And there's and he recovered. No, Beverly recovers.
Yeah,
again, that was an offside. But you know, the ball didn't go 10 yards, so they couldn't have recovered there. See where the ball is spotted?
Yeah.
Kick is recovered by the Panthers.
But the ball went backwards. I think that the Classical lineman who fell on the ball, it squirted away from him going backwards.
And it went back
if he had recovered, I think he would have. He was within the 10-yard.
So Classical has come out here. They're doing onside kicks too. They've tried 2 onside kicks already.
Yeah,
and they're just not sparing anything here. They're out to.
This is right now. It's looking to me like probably the best team that the Panthers have played all year. Tewksbury was good last week. I don't want to take anything away from them, but Classical is just really dominant.
And Marge Malumba for about an 8-yard gain now down to the 42, 43-yard line of Lynn Classical. That was a nicely designed play there. And
6-yard carry brings up second down and 4.
So Beverly has a second down and 4 at the 43-yard line of Lynn Classical. They got to get this ball down in the end zone. It's just
yeah, when you're down 22, you got to put some points on the board.
We're back in the
half.
We're in the shotgun, and he fakes it, and he's running. And there's Ryan Burrour, and he's nifty bit of running, spinning, running all the way down to the 25-yard line. That was a nifty bit of running by Ryan Burrour. He faked it. And then took it himself, and very.
Yeah, I thought he was caught for sure.
I thought he was too. A couple of times he looked like he was surrounded, but he just kept spinning and running and keeping his legs moving, and he's shown that all season long that he can do that.
Yeah, he's shown that he's a really good runner.
And the ball's on the 26-yard line, and Bobby Avila in motion, and it's a counter play to Avila, and he gains about 3 yards there, 2-3 yards. Andrew Avila, I'm sorry.
It just there was no hole for him. That's why he was dancing. At that point, he probably should have just kept going to the outside and hope for the best.
So it's a second down and 9 for Beverly. The ball is on the 20, just short of the 25. No, I'm sorry, the 20. Yeah.
Second and
it's between
9.
the 25 and the 26-yard line. 7 minutes, 47 seconds left in the first half. And Andrew Avila in motion, and it's a give to Malumba, and Malumba fights down. Looks like he's just short of the first down, down to. See where they mark the ball, and
how's your depth perception? It looks like he's about a yard short.
Yeah, it looks like he's a little bit short. So it's a third down and less than a yard for Beverly, and they shouldn't.
I'm completely misreading this.
8-yard carry brings up third and 1.
So there's a third down play for Beverly. They got Duncan Moreland wide to the left, and Andrew Avila, and it's a give to Merge Malumba, and he fights through he just has tacklers bouncing off of him.
He's tough to bring down.
Yeah, nice thing is he's a junior, so they'll be able to build a nice offense around him next season for Coach Morency.
There are some good juniors and sophomores on this team, and there's good signs for next year, really.
So the ball is down on about the 14-yard line, and Beverly still can make a first down. 6 minutes, 35 seconds, clock running. Duncan Moreland wide to the left. Andrew Avila out on the left. Andrew Avila motion to the right. Stops him back to the quarterback, and it's a reverse play, and there's a nice, and it's Merge Malumba, and
onto the
He
ball
should have
carrier.
cut back in. He only got 2 or 3 yards there. I know he got tackled. He got tangled up with his own blocker, it looked like.
I agree with you. That cut back there looked like a score.
Yeah, it did. It looked like he had a nice open field there ahead of him, but then the Classical defense was able to contain him.
Yeah, they flowed to the outside to the ball, and of course it's easy to say from here. But just a quick cut back by Merge would have been a big gain, probably a touchdown. There was nobody out there.
Second down.
They've got to get down to the 4-yard line here for a first down. And it looks like Malumba again, and Malumba scooting down, and he's down to about the 7-yard line. So it'll be about a third and, let's see, where do they mark the ball? About the 9. Our viewpoint from this angle was tough. The lines just look like they're one next to another. So it's about a 3rd and 5 on about the 9-yard line. So they've got to get down to the 4 for a first down. They got 2 downs here to do it.
Well, they're having success running it on this. There's maybe a quick pass here would be an answer. Like that.
Oh boy, it's intercepted. Boy, he telegraphed that ball. Gee whiz, that was unfortunate. The quarterback, they just telegraphed that play as far as I was concerned. Looked over there and threw it. There was just no. They should try a quick slant play or something like that.
The ball made it a little more loft.
Yeah.
Actually, the Beverly receiver was behind the defensive end, but the pass was too low, too short.
And I believe that was, again, number 4 for Lynn Classical, Nashawn Butler, who's been kicking and who's been receiving there. He's on defense. He just intercepted a pass. And so Beverly's not able to score. 4 minutes, 53 seconds left in the half. And the visiting Lynn Classical Rams are ahead 22-0. And again, it's a long, long pass downfield. And boy, just off the fingertips of number 4 again.
Well defended, but
it was well defended, but that was a nice toss there by Ridley. And there, he's just not getting any pressure back there. He just gets back there and just sets up and waits for his receiver to get downfield and throws a nice long ball.
Yeah, he's a big kid and he's got a great
eye. Yeah, he looks big from here, doesn't he?
Yes, he looks like he's about 6'4", 6'5".
And it's a pass. It's a screen pass out to the flat there, and he missed tackle, another missed tackle, and finally he's brought down. Not yet. And so it looks like it's a first down there. Boy, about 4 missed tackles there by Beverly on that play. Just slipping away from the. So it's a 1st and 10 for. And Classical just not wasting any time. They put the ball down. Boom, they're ready to go.
They got plenty of time to score again. Right?
Yeah. And there's another pass to number 4. And there's that same play.
Yep.
Same play. They've run that about 4 or 5 times every time.
And it works every time.
Yeah. Ridley to Butler. Look at the size difference between. The quarterback is a head taller than. What have they got him listed at 6'3", 225.
Yeah, as I said, he looks
6'3",
6'4". He looks like he's a big kid.
He is 6'3", 225. It's as big as our biggest player, I think. And there it is again. Same play. Yep. Number 4.
Ridley to Butler.
Ridley to Butler.
Tackle by Foster Smallman.
So
when he spreads out to the outside like that, I think the defensive man should just get in his face and prevent him from getting to that spot in the field so easily.
But you know what's going to happen as soon as he does that? He's going to stop and then go.
Then exactly
looks like
right.
there's a
penalty is against Classical, ineligible receiver.
So looks like Lynn Classical gets penalized for ineligible receiver downfield. 4 minutes, 2 seconds, 1 second. 4 minutes left here in the first half. And Ridley gives the ball out to number 28, and he breaks one tackle, another tackle, and
first down.
First down for Lynn Classical. Yeah. So far, Bob, I'm just seeing Beverly just get beat in every phase of this game.
Classical has been absolutely one of the most impressive teams I've seen all year. Maybe the most impressive so far in the first half. Anyway.
And Ridley back in the shotgun, and again he gives it to number 28, and that time he was dropped after about a
good defensive play catching him from behind.
Yeah, looks like about a yard. No, maybe 1 yard gain. Yeah, so it'll be a 2nd down and 9. And Classical is just they're not wasting any time getting up to the line of scrimmage and snapping the ball. And again, it's a fake to number 28, and Ridley keeps it himself. And the wind is really picked up here.
This is almost
Ridley with the keeper, tackled by
identical play back of the conditions we had last week, where the rain stopped late in the morning, the temperature then dropped, and the wind picked up.
So it's a timeout on the field. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the half, and the visiting Lynn Classical Rams are leading the Beverly Panthers 22-0.
And doing it in a dominant style.
Just to remind everybody, you're listening to the BevCam Sports Network. My name is Walt Kozmowski, and my sidekick here is Bob Hobbs doing the color in this game. Our producer and director in the studio, Robert Dokes, and our cameraman up top, Mark Lehman.
Trying to thaw out, I'm sure.
So with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half, Lynn Classical has about a 3rd and 6 on their own 43-yard line, let's call it. So far it's just been all Lynn Classical in this game, Bob.
Yep, and I would be a little worried about a deep pass right there.
It'll be 3rd and 6.
And it's a keeper by the quarterback, and he just found nothing. He made it 5 yards past the line of scrimmage without even being touched. And so that's a 10, 20, 30, about a 30-yard gain by the quarterback, Keith Ridley. Big guy, 6'3", 225.
He's
Yeah.
really good.
He just called his own number, and he just raced through the line. Nobody even touched him until he was...
He's really a force at the quarterback position.
First and 10 on the Beverly 26.
And there again, number 4. There's that play again. Yep. How many times are they? Oh, looks like a flag has been thrown by the referee. And what that was about?
Holding, maybe.
They seem to be able to get that play off every single. They've run that about 6 times, and every time it goes for 4, 5, 6 yards. And if you're in 1st, 2nd down, you get an easy 5 yards out of it. Looks like a.
Looked like a little
No,
grabbing.
looks offside. No, offsetting penalties.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Well, there was some grabbing and clutching going on the line of scrimmage. That's why I thought that might be a hold.
So it looks like there's a major penalty here. Looks like it's a 15-yarder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's a.
Penalty is against Classical.
Wow, he just walked off more than 15.
It looked like about 18 yards.
Yeah. Well, if it was from the line of scrimmage, yeah, that's about 5, 10, 15 from the line of scrimmage. So it's a 1st down and 25 for Lynn Classical, and they've got the ball at the 41-yard line of Beverly. And Keith Ridley is looking over. He's in a shotgun position. He gets the ball. Look at all the time in the world. There's a long pass, and he's wide open again. Oh, he drops the ball.
Wow.
Again, he had us beat. And it just bounced right off his chest.
Hit him in the worst possible spot, right in the chest.
Right in the chest.
Oh, he was wide open, too.
Yeah. That ball, that Ridley can really get something on the ball. Well, he's throwing with the wind right now because the wind is blowing out towards the scoreboard. Now that's a 2nd down and 25. And it's a give up the middle. Look at this. And they make up about 20 of the 25 yards on that inside handoff.
Kid Bono on the
They just
carry.
seem to be fooling the Beverly defense all over the place.
Yeah, well, they're quick to the line, and on a quick hitter, you can't really be dancing and we're trying to find the hole. You just got to hit the line and trust the play. And
So it's a
really good at that.
3rd down and 5. They had a 2nd down and 25, and that play went for 20 yards.
Classsical.
So it's a minute and 45 left in the half. Let's see if Beverly can keep them off the board here. Otherwise, they're going to have a big hole to make it out of in the second half.
Yeah, they're in a big hole now, and it would be a darn near impossible hole if they were to allow another score here. This is what happened last week at Tewksbury. Beverly got down 21-0, and it was just too much to overcome in the 4th period.
Yeah. Yeah, Beverly just seems to be dispirited for some reason. They're just not playing.
This was my original theory, was that Classical kind of was going to be able to pad their record by playing dispirited playoff losing teams like Marblehead, in this case Beverly. But you commented earlier in the first period about the lack of spark on offense. They haven't completely corrected that, but this last drive was not, before the interception, was not all that bad.
So it's a 3rd and 5 for they're at the Beverly 22-yard line. And again, he's got all the time in the world. Oh, that's a wounded duck. It's got to be knocked down. Nope, it's kind of out of the end zone. The ball flew out, but he had to throw that up high because he had an outstretched arm of a Beverly defender in his face.
He was looking at a pretty good rush that time.
Yeah. So it's 4th down and 5 from about the 22-yard line of Beverly, and. Nope, it's a minute and 38, and it looks like a timeout for Lynn Classical.
Procedure penalty. 5 yards against Classical.
Oh. Do you see what that penalty was for?
Procedure. It was a offside.
Oh,
basically.
okay. So it's a 4th down and 11, and the ball is now at the 27-yard line of Beverly. And Ridley back in the shotgun. He takes the ball and there he throws it, and it's who has the ball? Who has the ball?
That could have been intercepted.
And it's intercepted.
He passes into.
Wow, there's the first spark of.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. What's this call?
So Mickey Anderson.
Anderson with the.
Mikey Anderson, 1 minute 31. Maybe Beverly can get something on the board here in the last minute and a half of the.
Well, they're going to have to go 95 yards.
Yeah. But that ball was they both caught the ball. It was just a matter of who could outfight the other for possession.
Mikey Anderson, he just ripped the ball out of his hands.
Yeah. So
well done by him.
Beverly will
yeah,
start
I'm
out
really
first
impressed with
and
this
from their own
Keith
5-yard
Ridley.
line.
Oh, yeah.
1:31 remaining in the
Big,
half.
strong guy, can put a lot on the ball. And let's see if Beverly's going to.
I'm impressed also with their receivers, who seem to be constantly open.
Yeah, the quarterback is in his own end zone. Ryan Barrower in the shotgun in his own end zone, and he calls his own number, and he's not going to be able to make it. No, he's actually
Ryan
loses
Barrower,
about 4 yards
Yeah, he's on the 1 yard
down to the 1 yard line.
Tackled by Raven Ramirez.
At this rate, they're going to have to give the ball up again.
From a terrible field position, too.
So the ball is at the 1 yard line. It's a 2nd down and about 14 for Beverly. And
That'll bring up 2nd and 14 for Beverly.
Pat Parsons comes out of the game, number 5. And Duncan Moreland is out as well. They've got Marge Malumba is in the eye. They got the eye going here from deep in the end zone.
Be careful of giving it to the third man through here.
Because
he's got to go.
and it's going to be, it looks, no, he makes it out of the end zone. But, boy, he could have got, that could have been a safety there.
If you're going to give it to the third man through, he's got a ways to go just to get out of the end zone.
Why are they doing this? They just, I don't know. Okay, timeout, Lynn Classical.
Timeout, Classical.
Minute and 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Third down and 14.
They get a chance to get the ball back in great field position.
Yeah, Beverly is just this. So Duncan Moreland comes back into the game, number 8. And so Beverly has a 3rd and 14 on its own 2-yard line, let's call it.
Well, what do you do here? Tough call.
Yeah, and the wind is again. Look at the flag there. The wind is against them, boy. Oh, now it's a penalty against Beverly. Half the distance. 6 inches.
That's one step.
6 inch. What is going on here?
Procedure. Not enough money. I didn't see it at all.
So minute and 3 seconds left in the half. Beverly's mired deep in their own territory, their own 2-yard line, 3rd and 13. This will take a miracle here to. Oh, it's way overthrown. Look at, he's got 3 guys. Yeah, he had 3 men around him. That's what I was afraid of. It looked like they were holding him too there.
Well, he was grabbed from the back of his shirt. I saw the back of his shirt go backwards. Which is a good call for Beverly, because I don't think he was going to get to that anyway.
Well, he was surrounded by 3 or 4 classical players. But you know, if you only have one guy wide coming out, what? Yeah,
you do attract a crowd.
So
under those conditions?
Defensive pass interference against Classical. Automatic first down for Beverly.
So Beverly has a first down at their own 17-yard line, I think. 30, 20, 17. 57 seconds left in the half. And there are back to pass, and there a long pass.
Oh.
And it's overthrown. That was Danny Morency, number 3.
2nd and 10 from the Beverly 16.
That's the 3rd time I've seen that. You know, Classical is their defensive backs are very good at just getting between the player and the ball, just standing there so that the receiver cannot get to the ball. They're not interfering with them in any way. They're just standing in the receiver's way when he wants to cut back to get to the ball.
Now that play took 5 seconds, less than 5, 4.9. 52.1 seconds left in the half. Just air it out here. Get it. They got 2nd down. It's a. And Beverly players out at about the 25-yard line.
Ryan Barris complete to Andrew Avila.
The speed of Lynn Classical was evidenced there because the receiver, who was 4 or 5 yards out by himself, was caught from behind very quickly.
So the ball is at about the 21-yard line. 30, 20. No, it's inside the 20. 40, 30. Yeah, it's about the 21-yard line.
Yeah, you cannot depend on my eyes for this call.
Yeah, so it's a 3rd and about 6 or 7 for Beverly. And Ryan Barrow keeps the ball, and he cuts back, and he looks like he's very, very close. I think he might have made it. The half is up.
I think he made it, but it's halftime.
So at the end of the first half, the score here is the visiting Lynn Classical Rams 22 and the Beverly Panthers 0. We'll be back with the second half kickoff.
everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize,
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
Listen. Creativity is putting your imagination to work, and it's produced the most extraordinary results in human culture. Dreams come from inspiration. Inspiration comes from an idea. And ideas come from creativity. We believe in raising up a new generation of creative minds. And it all starts with you. Help sponsor the award-winning Beverly High School Media Program so the students can have the resources they need to make dreams happen.
You are watching BevCam. Here, anyone can come to the studio to make their own local TV show. Contact us with your idea. We'll help you get started with producing your own show, editing it, and then we'll broadcast it to all of Beverly for your friends and family to see. You might even get some new fans. We also film local events like sports, music, city council meetings, and more. If you miss out on anything in town, you can catch up on it here. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Contact us at 978-927-5544 or email us at admin@bevcam.org.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize,
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
listen.
Creativity is putting your imagination to work, and it's produced the most extraordinary results in human culture. Dreams come from inspiration. Inspiration comes from an idea. And ideas come from creativity. We believe in raising up a new generation of creative minds. And it all starts with you. Help sponsor the award-winning Beverly High School Media Program so the students can have the resources they need to make dreams happen.
You are watching BevCam. Here, anyone can come to the studio to make their own local TV show. Contact us with your idea. We'll help you get started with producing your own show, editing it, and then we'll broadcast it to all of Beverly for your friends and family to see. You might even get some new fans. We also film local events like sports, music, city council meetings, and more. If you miss out on anything in town, you can catch up on it here. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Contact us at 978-927-5544 or email us at admin@bevcam.org.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, that can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize,
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
listen.
Creativity is putting your imagination to work, and it's produced the most extraordinary results in human culture. Dreams come from inspiration. Inspiration comes from an idea. And ideas come from creativity. We believe in raising up a new generation of creative minds. And it all starts with you. Help sponsor the award-winning Beverly High School Media Program so the students can have the resources they need to make dreams happen.
Who are currently leading this game at halftime 22-0, and it's been all Lynn Classical here as far as we can see. Huh, Bob?
Exactly, and they're going to be successful with this squib kick, this onside kick thing here pretty soon.
And that one is kind of like a And Pat Parsons takes and he breaks through and he gets all the way up to the 47-yard line.
With the return for Beverly.
Yeah, he kind of picked that ball right out of the air there. It was kind of like a knuckleball.
Yeah, there is the danger of a low line drive kick. If it goes right to the receiver, he's got a nice head start. He can get 10 to 15 yards before the defense can
Beverly will
even
start the
recover.
second half. First down and 10 from their 46-yard line.
So where's he painting the ball? He's putting the ball on the referee. 51-yard line. He gave him an extra 5 yards. Thank you.
Okay, so they're in classical territory. Classical's 49. Beverly can't complain about the field position they've been getting.
No, they've well, except for that last.
The last one.
So Beverly will have their first offensive series here of the second half. And Burrow is counting. He looks like he's short a man. Oh, and the coaches are really mad. No, looks like Beverly is short a man. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh boy, that hurts. Have to take a timeout because you're short a man. So they sent Hurio Calise out. I think that might be Hugh Calise's younger brother.
Exactly.
Hugh Calise was the
wonderful player, great player.
Yeah, he was the Salem News Player of the Year a couple of years ago. So here we go for the first play of the second half. Ryan Brewer over center, and he gives it. And so that was a shirt-tail tackle there, very, very smartly done by number 8, Raymond Ramirez. It looked like Malumba would have something out of that play. Seemed to have but the Lynn Classical defense just closes in so quickly.
And they did exactly the right thing. The first man just grabbed the hold and held him, because you'll get help very quickly.
So it's a second down and 11 for Beverly. They've got a T formation here. Ryan Brewer back, and he calls his own number, but he gets nothing.
That's going nowhere.
In fact, he may have lost a yard on that. So just like that, it's 3rd and 11 for Beverly. Just can't seem to get untracked here.
Well, I will reiterate that how wrong I was. I was thinking that Classical was making hay on the backs of dispirited playoff team losers. But they are just a really good team. In fact, I don't know how they didn't make the playoffs. They are impressive.
And that defensive line looks big, doesn't it?
Big. Look at the size of it.
Yeah, look, they look big.
Defensively, offensively. Everybody for number 4 is big, and number 4 has been extremely productive.
And there's and it's batted away very smartly by number 17. Moreland would have had a first down on that, but the number 17 there was Cameron Green, very smartly done, batted down. And now it's a 4th down, so Beverly will have to punt. So Beverly just, even though the refs gave them an extra 5 yards on the kickoff, they're 4th and 11. They
actually lost a yard.
They actually lost a yard, yeah. And the Lynn Classical players are down on the 20 and 15-yard line waiting for this punt. He should get some, and there it is, a nice kick aided by the wind, and it's going to go into the end zone. Touchback. It'll be Lynn Classical will take over on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10, 9 minutes and 19 seconds left here in the third quarter. Beverly's first offensive series, they failed to get a first down. In fact, they failed to even gain a yard.
But the punter did a good job getting that kick off. He's been under pressure all the way.
He was, yeah. I was afraid there.
I looked like it was going to be blocked.
Now the wind is going to be against Lynn Classical here on this series anyway, in terms of passing. So
hasn't been much of a deterrent to this
Keith Ridley, and he gives the ball again and getting about a 2-yard gain maybe across the 20-yard line. Where the refs mark it, they're marking it about just over the 20, on the 21. So there's no gain on that. With the touchback, they started off on their own 20. So here's Ridley And he gives it again to number 28, and number 5, he breaks through and looks like a first down across the 30-yard line.
He definitely is a
Marcus
first down.
Tucker with
Yep.
the carry.
And
Tackled by Uriel Callis.
looks like Beverly, there's a Beverly player slow getting up. Seems to be. No, that's number 84.
Is that Callis?
That's Uriel Callis, yeah. He's being, I don't know what, he seems to be holding his neck.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No.
He got a little stinger.
And
Not to make light of a stinger, but it's better than some of the alternatives.
so 1st and 10 for Lynn Classical at their own 30-yard line, just over their 30. 8 minutes and 37 seconds, clock running. Keith Ridley, who's just been, and it's again a number 5, and he's breaking tackles and just slippery and slides all the way out to the 45-yard line. Just like that, right through the line, no messing around,
Yeah,
boom.
Tackled by Duncan Moreland.
Hit the hole. You got to trust the play, as Bill Parcells used to say all the time. Hit the hole quickly, and he runs low to the ground, too. Keeps his legs moving.
So it's
very effective.
Another first down for, and it's a keeper by the quarterback. He's nobody near him. And he just casually runs out of bounds at about the 35-yard line of Beverly. No, but everybody took the bait on that, and he just had nobody around him.
To tell you the truth, he fooled me, too.
He had no defensive or offensive players around him. He just casually ran out of bounds down to the 35-yard line. And in Lynn Classical, just making it look easy.
Yep.
They're just making it look easy here against Beverly, unfortunately for Beverly Panthers. I'd like to remind our viewers that you're watching the BevCam Sports Network. Our producer and director, Robert Dokes, who does his usually fine job. Our camera person, Mark Lehman. I'm Walt Kosmowski with the play-by-play, and my colleague, Robert Hobbs, Bob Hobbs, doing the color.
Right now, according to the scoreboard, the ball's on the 55-yard line.
Well, well, yeah, unfortunately, Lynn Classical is just making it look too easy. They're running the plays easily. They just seem to be, they seem to be having fun out there, and they're just loose and they're quick. And Beverly just seems to be struggling.
Well, when you get out 22-0, you can play loose and easy.
So with that timeout, it's 8 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third quarter, and the wind is gusting. You can't tell on the field here, but we have a lot of leaves here on the incline, grass incline in front of the press box, and the leaves are just being blown past us very, very sharply. So here's Keith Ridley in the shotgun, ready to take the snap. He's looking around, looking at his coach. He's giving him signals, yelling at him from the sideline, and waiting for the snap. Takes the snap, and there's another, and there it is. Look at that. Oh, and
nice
batted
defense
away by Malumba at the last second. Boy, that looked like it was a completion, and Malumba just batted away at the last possible second.
No, that was a good defensive play.
Yeah.
Everything went perfectly for Lynn Classical.
Yeah.
Didn't end up perfectly, but
I'm just amazed at how much time Ridley has. He just
had all the time in the world. He threw the
just
ball right
he
on
just
the money.
casually looks over the field, sets up, doesn't have to rush his throw.
The
Gets
receiver had a step on the defense. Good play by Merge Malumba. to
and
break
it's
it up.
and he calls his own number again, and they bit for that, and he looks like he's
Nice cutback.
Look at they can't get him down. He's down to about the about the 1 yard line. He called his own number. The Beverly defense bit on that,
Ridley with the carry.
and he
Classical
carried the ball
facing-
34 yards down to the 1 yard line.
Classical's jumping around like they thought he was in.
Yeah, well, we couldn't tell from here. Again, this is a vantage point on the field where we can't. The lines are so close together, we can't. It's hard to tell. And it's a give to number, and he stopped. Somebody had his number. Who was that? Bobby Adams, I think. Or maybe that was Foster Small.
Carry, tackled by Bobby Adams.
Yeah, Bobby Adams' number. He just knifed right in there for about a 3-yard loss. But that, just so casually the way Ridley ran that 34-yard gain there. And he drops back, and it's a throw, and again, it's batted away.
Oh, I thought sure that was interference.
Pass is defended by Jay Sean Jones.
And that was Jay Sean Jones there on the defense. So it's a
third and goal from the 4.
Third and goal from the 4-yard line for.
It's still two down situation for Classical.
So Classical is up 22-0 here. 6 minutes 59 seconds. Clock is stopped with that passing completion, and he gives the number 5, and it looks like he's in. Yeah, practically untouched. Yeah. So there's another score for Lynn Classical. Now they're up 28-0, and they might not have a kicker if they keep going for 2 points here.
But they make it look so easy.
Yeah, they just. So Ridley back at quarterback. He's got number 5 back there with him. And he throws the ball. No, that's batted up, and it's incomplete. It was batted away at the line of scrimmage. But the man was open, actually. He was open, but it was batted away. So
good defensive.
So with that 2-point conversion incomplete, the score is 28-0 in favor of the Lynn Classical Rams against the Beverly Panthers. Beverly's got to put something on the board here, at least to save their own self-esteem here. They got to do something, score, do something good here. And they're going to put.
But you're quite right about the fact that Classical does not have the kicker. He's constantly kicking the ball. He just lays it on the ground and kicks, quick kicks.
This strategy, it's not like they're using it at the end of the game if they're behind or they're just using it from the get-go, and it's stymied. Although they have given up good field position on it, and able to hold Beverly. But they do this. I wonder if they've been doing this all season.
I would think so, unless the kicker has been injured, but they obviously don't have a kicker. Anybody could kick this thing.
And there it is, and it's Merge Malumba, and he gets it back to about the 41-yard line where he's driven out of bounds. 6 minutes, 44 seconds left in the third quarter. Malumba picked that ball out of the air, returned it down to the 41-yard line of Beverly's, where they'll take over 1st and 10. The first possession of the second half that Beverly had, they did not even gain a yard. They had to kick on 4th and 11.
No, they were stymied on no matter what they tried.
So we'll see if Beverly can get some semblance of an offense here, some sustained offense, and go in for a score. Let's make sure we have 11 people out there as well. Again, there we see we got a player. What is, this is just not good.
I don't understand why that's happening here 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah. So Ryan Brewer. And
one of the problems with the coaches constantly shifting personnel on offense is that you're going to run into that.
Well, it's
too many men on the field or not enough men on the field.
And Brewer and there's that was Pat Parsons had it in his hand, and he was nailed by the Classical defender, and the ball knocked loose. He had one hand on that ball. Looked like a very athletic play, but Pat Parsons is only 5'6".
It would have been a very athletic play if it were so
yeah.
strongly contested. He took a pretty good shot.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Beverly. But even though that Barrar now, he's trying to roll, he rolled to his right, but there was a guy right in his face, so he had to rush his throw. He couldn't kind of set, and it's hard enough throwing the ball on the run, but when you got a guy with his. So Pat Morency. And there he is. Oh, that was almost pulled in by Pat Parsons. What an athletic move, but boy, for a guy 5'6", he really gives it the try, doesn't he?
Yeah, I tell you, if he had a little stickum on his hands, he'd had two receptions here because
Yeah.
they were tough. They would have been amazing catches, but he's had a hand on them.
So it's a 3rd and 10 for Beverly. Ball in the 41-yard line. And they've got 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Beror, and there's a, and
I'm not sure what that was.
I don't know what that was. It looks like he was throwing it to, there was nobody there. 4th down and 10.
Way behind the receiver. I'm not quite sure how that was supposed to work out.
Beverly has yet to gain a yard here in the second half. They've got to punt because I don't know.
Well, they don't have to, but I think it would be a smart thing to do.
It's like, are they asking for like punishment here? If they, what is going on here? They're going for it at their own 41-yard line.
Well, the coach says, we got to lose.
Boy, oh boy. No, it isn't. Oh, and it's blocked. It was one of those quick kicks, and it was blocked. He hit it. He kicked it right into the back of his own men. That would have been a pretty smart,
I took my eye off the kicker. I wonder if he got hit. He's slow in getting up.
Yeah, very slow in getting up. I don't know if it looked like he was holding his.
Although the referee was right there, he would have called it, I think, running into the kicker. I don't know whether he's just disappointed in the way things worked. He was a little slow off the turf.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those quick kicks, and it would have worked nicely, but they kicked it right into the back of his.
It would have worked, but it didn't.
So that was a 10-yard kick. 10 yards on the kick for Beverly, and the Lynn Classical has the ball on their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. And their quarterback, Keith Ridley, who's really impressed me here.
The whole Classical team has impressed me.
Boy, that offensive line just looks huge.
The size of the offensive line.
I know, they look.
They're giving that quarterback all the protection in the world. They're just a solid wall.
And, oh, come on.
That having been
That
said.
had to be intentional grounding.
That having been said, Panthers got good
pressure for the Panthers.
Oh, that was, come on, call it. He was ready to go down, and he threw the ball into the ground.
I think he had a receiver somewhere in the same zip code.
So it's a 2nd down and 10 for the Lynn Classical Rams. Keith Ridley at quarterback. And Ridley fakes it to his back, and he... Oh, and it's a catch and a run. What a play. What an athletic play by number 8. Ridley was in the grasp of a defensive man, threw it, and number 8 just leaped.
A great play by both the quarterback and the receiver.
Yeah.
Who made a great leaping catch.
Oh,
And a nice run out.
Unfortunately, it looks like a legal man downfield. Yeah, that's what that penalty is there, I think. Yeah, a legal receiver downfield, so they'll be penalized. I think that's loss of down as well, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
So it's loss of 5.
Well, even with the score at 20.
So it's
that
third
was
and 15 for Lynn Classical at their own 44-yard line. And there's Ridley, and he gives it to number 5, and there's no gain on that play. So it's a
Marcus Tucker on the carry.
So it's a 3rd down and 15 for Lynn Classical. And look at they're wasting no time. They're getting right up to the ball, and
I like that.
they don't.
I wish Beverly would do that.
They don't have huddles, have they? Ridley waiting, and he's throwing the ball out to the flat here. That was
Yep, number 4.
again, and he's still running, still. Oh, Bobby Adams threw him to the ground. I think that's going to be a penalty. The ref is looking for his flag. He can't find his flag.
Yeah, it should be a penalty, actually.
Yeah, he threw him to the ground. He was way outside, and he threw him to the ground. Again, that's that same.
Number 4, that same play.
That same play, time and time again, and
It's a personal foul. This could be 15 yards.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be, 15 yards. That's just the frustration there. Bobby Adams showing the frustration of the whole team not being able to do anything against this Lynn Classical team. And he was out of bounds, and he just threw him to the ground when he didn't have to. I think he regretted it the second he did it.
He probably had his one of his feet on the outside out of bounds mark, and he better get away with it, but he was clearly out of bounds.
And there's number 11 again calling his own number, Keith Ridley, and he's breaking those tackles, and he's finally brought down at the 15-yard line, but there was a flag there that was dropped. I saw a flag, so it looks like a penalty against Lynn Classical.
Ridley with the carry.
Well, every time he calls his own number, he just lumbers down. Doesn't look really fast, but he just lumbers down, and
he seems to find open space.
Yeah.
No matter how many times he does it.
So it looks like it's a 5-yard penalty. So it's a first down and 15 for Lynn Classical. Low snap. Ridley, look, he's just got all the time, and then he throws it easily, but throws it out of bounds.
Pass is incomplete. Caden Hale on the pressure for Beverly.
So it'll bring up a second down and 15 for Lynn Classical at the 34-yard line of Beverly. 1 minute and 13 seconds left here in the third quarter. And it's been all Lynn Classical so far. Clock is running. Why was the clock running there on an incomplete pass? And that time it was
I think that was the first time that Beverly has stopped that play.
Well, that wasn't quite the same play, but you're right. So that was a loss there of about 3 or 4 yards. So it's a third and about 18, third and about 17. 35 seconds, the clock running. And this will be probably the last play of the third quarter. It's a long pass there. He's got him beat again. Yeah, how does he do that? The Beverly just is getting beat all over the place by these long passes. They just
Ridley pass is complete.
down to the 15.
Beverly's D-back just let him go. He had him really
10
well
seconds.
for the first 10
Looks
yards
like the
and
clock is going to run out before they snap the ball here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and there's the. So they'll be changing. So
they're
at the end,
changing the length of the field.
Yeah.
It's a long change.
Yeah, the Beverly defensive backs have just been getting beat just severely. It's not even close.
If you watch that play on replay, the D-back just let the receiver go. I don't know why, but that's why he was so open down there. Almost like he was anticipating that there would be some help behind him, which there was not.
So they'll be changing the ends here, and with one more quarter to go in this game, it's been all Lynn Classical who lead the Beverly Panthers 28-0. And looks like they've got a first and goal on the 4, so
paper last week. Classical, it was when they beat Marblehead, it was a rather close game through the first half, but in the second half, Classical just laid the lumber to them. Looks like they might do it here in the second half here also.
So it's a 1st and goal on the 4-yard line for Lynn Classical. Keith Ridley by himself in the backfield, and he throws a slant over, and it's incomplete. That's that play to number 4 that they've been. That's the first time they've missed it.
Defended by Mikey Anderson.
This time he tried to come across the middle, and he wasn't as successful with that as he was when he just stepped out in the flat out there.
So
He
it's
seemed to be open every time.
2nd and goal for Lynn Classical Rams on the 4-yard line. And that time they give it to, no, he didn't catch it, and it's complete. It's a touchdown. So it's 34-0 with less than a minute left, less than a minute gone in the 4th quarter. And Lynn Classical is just putting a beating on Beverly here.
Since they don't have a kicker, they will always be going for 2, near as I can tell.
They just seem to, and there he goes. No, and they keep him out of the end zone.
2-point conversion is no good.
But Classical just seems to be, they just seem to be very casual, and they're just completely outplaying Beverly. I'm sorry to say. So Beverly will be getting the kickoff here. So far in the second half, they have got no yardage. Not a first down or a yard.
When you're Lynn Classical and you're out 34-0, you can play loose and easy, because if you make a mistake, there still won't be any damage done.
Yeah, this is, if you're down a touchdown or 2 going into the 4th quarter.
You're going to play a little tighter. Yeah.
But being down 5 touchdowns. And Lynn Classical has been going with this sneaky sort of offside, not really, and they put the ball down sideways.
Yeah.
It's just... Now they've got number 2. Looks like number 2 is kicking. They had number... And Pat Parsons is deep, and he's on his own 30-yard line. And let's see what they do. And that time he kicks away. Parsons takes it on about the 25. And he cuts up field. Oh, and he's chased down from behind. He had a hole there, and looks like he was going to pop through there.
He did pop through, but Classical is so fast.
Yeah. It looked like he had a head of steam, and it looks like he was...
A number of times Beverly's runners have been caught from behind. And a sure sign that Classical is not only big, they're fast.
So Beverly will take over here in the 4th quarter. They have yet to gain any yardage in the second half. 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. And they've got a new quarterback in there. They've got Dan Morency quarterbacking. He throws a long ball. And, yeah, there's a penalty there, yeah.
Danny Morency pass intended for PZ Parsons. Incomplete. There is a flag on the field, though.
Yeah, Parsons there was interfered with.
I didn't
Pat
see
Parsons
the interference.
Yeah, he was interfered with there.
I thought he had a pretty good shot at it.
Yeah. So the coach is giving Dan Morency number 3. I guess he's,
No, let's take a look at him.
Take a look at sure.
We're going to start thinking about next year here.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good time to
give him some game experience.
Exactly.
So Beverly, boy, he seemed to have moved it back.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, that interference happened like 5 yards downfield. But anyway, who am I to? So, oh, Mikey Anderson right in the hands.
Morency pass pass intended for Mikey Anderson.
Right in the hands.
Well, just
Mikey.
to give him a little bit of some protection. Yeah, it's so cold on there. If that ball hit me in the hands, I think my fingers would break. But you're right. It was right in his hands. It just didn't get it.
So Coach Andrew Morency is going with Dan Morency. I don't think there's any relationship there. Dan Morency at quarterback, number 3. He's got Mikey Anderson, Duncan Moreland flanked out to the left. And there it is.
There it is.
And that's Avila. And Avila is down to about the 33-yard line before he's forced out of bounds.
Pass is complete to Andrew Avila.
Good job making the first tackle miss and getting another 5 or 6 yards out of it.
So it's a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Good for a Panthers first
And the
down.
Panthers are speeding up a little bit here. I think they're desperate for a score. And Morency is brought down from behind. He had a notion to pass, but the man wasn't open, and he kept the ball and
which is good.
decided to run, but then he was brought down from behind. So it's a 2nd down and 12. The ball is on the 35-yard line. Oh boy, Coach Andrew Morency is angry.
He's upset about something.
He's upset about something. He's just angry. Boy, he is really angry. He's angry about something.
I don't know what the penalty
Did they
was.
call him? Now, what happened there?
I don't know. I didn't see any sign. I don't know what happened.
But it's
any signal from the refs. But whatever happens.
Yeah, I mean, this is frustration on the part of everyone here on the Beverly team, players and coaches.
He did get the coach's attention, whatever happened.
Oh, and Morency is caught in the backfield, and it's a loss of another probably 6 yards. Oh, there's a penalty there.
Manny Guerrero and on the tackle for Classsical.
And there's some kind of a flag there that the ref threw. Looks like it's going against. No penalty. What was that? The guy threw a flag. It was a yellow flag that he threw up in the air.
I don't know. At first, I thought maybe the tackler had touched the face mask of Morency. But it would have been just a glancing
Pass
thing.
intended for Andrew
Fast.
Avila.
Those defensive men
Brings up 4th down for Beverly.
for Lynn Classical are in our backfield before we can turn around and do anything. We just beat their blocker and they're in on the. It's difficult to. So it's a 4th down and about 20 for Beverly, and we got Dan Morency in at quarterback. He's got Andrew Avila back there with him.
He's got to get some protection there.
And it's.
That's.
Yeah, Duncan Moreland turned around and looked at the ball, and he tripped over his own feet, unfortunately, that time.
I thought he might have been interfered with, but the ball was so far over
the
his
ball
head.
was way over his head. No, he got turned around, and he kind of got caught up in his own feet there and stumbled and fell. So.
All right, so Classical takes it over.
So Lynn Classical will take over on their own 43-yard line. 8 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the game. And it's a give again to number 5 again. Looks like
Marcus
Lynn
Tucker,
Classical is.
the ball carrier.
5 is a
They
very,
might
very
be
shifty
rotating
runner.
in some second, but number 4 is out there again. They got 3 men on the left. Again, it's to number 28, and he just scoots through there, and he's brought down after about a 10, 25-yard line
Duncan Moreland.
gain down to the 35-yard line of Beverly.
Impressive.
And look at Lynn Classical just wants to punish them. They just come up to the ball, and they're not putting in their second team.
Ball carrier.
This must frustrate Coach Morency to see them try to pile on now.
Tackle by Andrew Avila.
They're coming right up to the line of scrimmage and trying to score more points.
I'm impressed with the way Classical hits the holes in the line, though. They're quick to the line and quick through the holes, and that's the way to run the ball.
There's that same play. And I guess he stepped out of bounds.
Ridley pass is complete to Butler.
Well, this is not gaining any friends from the Beverly side for the Lynn Classical coach, who keeps trying to pour it on here. Being ahead 34-0. He still has his So the ball's down to the 20-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20 with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the game.
And Classical threatening yet again.
And Ridley back in the shotgun, and he gives it, and he right up the middle, and
Right
he's
up the
twisting and turning and breaking tackles, and they can't seem to bring him down.
Again,
and he's down to the
how quickly they hit the hole.
About the 7 or 8 yard line, and it'll be 1st and goal from about the 7. And the Beverly players are just sloppy tackling. They're just not. And he, again, number 23. That time he ran into a wall of Beverly defenders. But he got down to about the 5 yard line, so it's about a 2 yard gain. So it's 2nd down and goal and the 5.
Of course, I don't have any weight figures, but Classical's offensive line looks like it averages about 275 or 80
they
pounds.
Are big, aren't they?
Look at big guys.
They are huge. They just make the Beverly defenders look small. Look at the size of those guys.
That's why they're getting these holes in the line. Beverly's not able to stop those quick hitters.
So what do we got here? Okay, so there's
23.
And now he's keeping the ball, and he's fighting, and he's down to about the 1 yard line, Ridley. So it'll be a 3rd down and goal from about the 1.
Keith Ridley on the carry.
So what is it, about the 1 or 2, somewhere between the 1 and 2 yard line. And 1 minute and 33 left in the game, 32, and he gives it to number 23, and he's in untouched.
Ridiculously easily, which has been the story of the game. Really.
So the Lynn Classical Rams lead 42-0 over the Beverly Panthers. Minute 24 left in the game, and they will be trying for 2 as usual.
I don't think they have any options. They don't have a kicker.
No, they're going to try to kick. I can't believe this.
Oh, my heaven.
They're kicking?
They must have taken this guy out of the stands because they haven't had to try to kick all game.
Is that our friend number 4? And he gets it.
He nailed it. Where's he been the whole game?
Number 14. Number 14. I think they're all congratulating him. I guess he looks like the smallest guy on the team there. Well,
okay.
With a minute and 16 seconds, the score 41-0 in favor of the Lynn Classical Rams. Beverly Panthers will have a minute and 16 seconds.
Interesting to see if they use that same kicker to kick off here. Because he nailed that extra point. That was.
Well,
that was a 40-yard kick for crying out loud.
I have to say that this is easily the worst outing of the Beverly team this season.
Either Classical is, and I'm inclined to think that I was wrong. I'm thinking that they were pounding on dispirited teams. I think they're really good. Classical. They've been impressive through the whole game.
Yeah, they just been making it look easy here.
I guess they've retired their kicker, and they're going to go with the squib kick again.
And it's taken by nice. Pat Parsons, and he tries to squeeze through. He gets up just across the 35-yard line. 45, 44, 43. The clock is running. There's a flag on the play.
I think that after the play, a Classical player grabbed the Beverly blocker and threw him to the ground.
So
I'm not sure that was it, but I did see that.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct there. So the ball be at midfield. Well, I would just try to air it out 3 or 4 times here. You've got 4 downs. Just air it out and see if you can catch them off guard and maybe save some when the clock is running.
Yeah, you get at the most 2 plays here, and maybe not even 2. But you're right. If you get any sophomores and juniors at the receiver position, put them out there.
And incomplete.
Okay.
Renzi intended for Parsons.
So 21 seconds. This will probably be the last play of the game, unless it's an incomplete pass, and then. So it's a 2nd down and 10.
I can't see anything else but a pass here, really.
At midfield.
You got some things in your playbook you wanted to try all year. Well, try them now.
Morency running. Ooh, and he's out of bounds.
Yeah, at that stage of the game, I mean, normally you want your quarterback to either try to throw the ball away or something. But at that time, just try to. What do you got to lose? You're going to throw it in the general direction of a receiver and hope good things happen.
Well, Beverly High School football fans. The final here, what is there to say? The Beverly Panthers were totally outplayed by the Lynn Classical Rams. The final score here at Hurt Stadium is Lynn Classical 41, Beverly Panthers 0. And I think there's not quite much to say here, Bob.
No, a very discouraging game for the Panthers, but I think that they've got a couple of weeks to regroup and get ready for the Thanksgiving game with Salem.
Yeah.
Hope for a more spirited game from the Panthers.
So that for Beverly BevCam Sports Network, this is Walt Kosmowski with my colleague Bob Hobbs. Thanks to our director, Robert Dokes, our director and producer, and to our camera person, Mark Lehman. And from Hurt Stadium here, the final score is the Lynn Classical Rams 41 and the Beverly Panthers 0. And we'll see you on Thanksgiving.
Looking forward to it. See you then.